Welcome to Little Pond. Little Pond is where my in-laws, Kate and Glenn, live. They've lived there since 1997. They purchased the house just after Megan graduated from high school. So she now didn't live there as a kid, but has called Little Pond home for the past 12 years. Megan and I love Little Pond, me being a naturalist, and her just enjoying the calm and peaceful tranquility that it offers. So we just try to go there as much as we can. This past July, we spent a week at Little Pond. The first day of which was quite rainy. Maine had a very, very wet June and early July. Fortunately, the rain did stop. However, it was quite windy. Now, Weston, who at the time was about 3 months old, loved the wind because it blew the flag around. That wasn't the only thing blowing around. The pickerel weed and the red maples down in the bog, the rose begonia orchids also in the bog, the pickerel weed again with the bullhead lily, they were all blowing around in the breeze, and even the white water lily up and down in the pond. One of the coolest things about the pond are the damselflies and dragonflies that live there. Here is the lily pad forktail, a tiny little damselfly. And then one of the other common damselflies around the dock at the pond is the variable dancer. Although quite rare here in Ohio, the chalk-fronted corporal is really common at Little Pond. Slaty skimmers are also common. So common, in fact, that we watched this one laying its eggs by pounding its abdomen or tapping its abdomen right on the. The next day I went for a little walk to videotape some of the morning sights and sounds around Little Pond. Since we had had a lot of rain, the woodland streams were running full. Little Pond is settled in western Maine in an area known as the Oxford Hills. From the position of Megan's parents' house, the hills aren't readily available, but if you go around to the edge of the pond and look back at their house, you can see the hills. It's an amazingly beautiful place. The shrubs around the bog that surround the pond are great places for birds. I just happened to overturn a log at an old campground site on the pond and saw these really interesting ants. These weren't the only insects around the camp area as there were these tiny little flying creatures. I'm not sure exactly what they were, but I know they weren't mosquitoes. And finally, I just happened to catch this thrush on my way back. And here's an almost 360-degree sweep of Megan's parents' pond, taken from their dock just below their house. As you can see, their home is the only structure on the pond. The lake itself is about 25 acres. It's surrounded by a bog which ranges 50 to 100 feet wide. And then that's surrounded by a mixed forest of red maple, white birch, spruce, fir, and white pine and red pine. I'd like to know what type of fish these are. And you can also see that red spider mite that just came in and out from the right side of the frame. There's the chalk-fronted corporal again on the floating dock. One thing I noticed about the dragonflies this time was just how much they're able to move their abdomens. Take a look at that abdomen moving. Here's one of the flycatchers that inhabits the edge of the pond. As evening settles down on the little pond, you can see the mist rising up over the water, the sun gradually going down, and the sky becoming more colorful. Well, that's our view from Little Pond. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.